While it's common for most sports players to retire much earlier compared to other fields, it's still unusual to see someone quit before 30. But John Penisini of the Detroit Lions just announced that he was retiring from the NFL after 2 years. Want to know more about John Penisini's retirement? Keep watching for all the details. Let's get started. First up, Detroit Lions star to retire after just 2 years in the NFL. The high adrenaline sports world waits for no one, and the time comes when even the best players have to give up their suits and take a back seat. It's normal because no one can withstand time, so the NFL is constantly seen with a new round of players each year after the draft. Or some decide that a career change is in order, while others end up getting kicked out. But it's still relatively uncommon for a player to quit the game at what should be his prime, especially when the league is the dream for all football players. So it was a shock when one NFL player of the Detroit Lions announced that he was retiring after only 2 years on the team. John Penisini is a nose tackle who played college football for Snow College and then University of Utah before he was picked up by his team in the 2020 NFL Draft. He was among the better players on the team who held his own in a team that's relatively bottom of the barrel in the NFL right now. Some have been speculating on the reason he retired at such a young age, but the player gave no clarification and simply stated that he was looking forward to what life had in store. Now for the signs that John Penisini wanted to leave. The signs that John Penisini was going to be retiring from the Detroit Lions started appearing a few weeks ago when the team had its voluntary OTAs. Even though the league has insisted that the organized team activities are optional, most players show up for them. The only players that were missing were injured or recovering. They were TJ Hawkinson, Garrett Griffin, Taylor Decker, Romeo Okwara, and Josh Paschal. John Penisini was the only player whose absence wasn't because he wouldn't be able to participate. Next came the clearest sign when he didn't attend the mandatory minicamp. The OTAs are excusable, but NFL teams have long been known to penalize players who don't attend the camp. Terry McLaurin of the Washington Commanders might be fined up to $95,877 for his absence. But since the Detroit Lions said nothing regarding Penisini's absence, it's clear that his departure was already decided by then. It's a shame to see the player leave, especially since the team seems to be entering a new era in their history as they scramble to level up their team to have an actual chance at winning the NFL. John Penisini announces retirement on Instagram. This retirement came as a bit of a surprise. John was an exceptional defensive lineman who has played 2 seasons in the NFL. He has played 32 games in his career and kept up good results. He decided to make this decision public by an Instagram post that appreciated everyone's support and effort early on Saturday. He wrote that he had made the decision to retire completely from football. He said that he was going to miss everyone he had worked with, especially his teammates and the coaching staff, and that he was glad that this was a life he'd got to experience. At the same time, he seemed eager to take on life and excited for whatever was coming. John then proceeded to deliver his thanks to everyone, saying that his friends, family, coaches, teammates, and everyone who had helped him push through and believed he hoped they knew none of their efforts had gone unappreciated. Despite him retiring at only 25 years old, he had had a good career. The Detroit Lions had scouted him in 2020 at the 6th round of the National Football League draft out of Utah, and he was quite a good player. So, why did John Penisini retire? Some have speculated that the reason John Penisini is retiring might be the fact that there's been a large new crop of young players in the team. The team's general manager, Brad Holmes, has been making impressive deals left and right as he works to secure the team's future in an effort to create a winning roster. He's done so well that he's considered a top 10 manager in the league after he managed to get 2 top 12 players on the team. The team signed Taylor Decker with a 4-year extension worth $59.65 million. Perhaps he felt he wouldn't be able to do very well as the Detroit Lions gear up to evolve into a permanent threat in the NFL. Since they have an actual shot at winning the NFL now that Brad Holmes is around, the players will have to be better than ever. On the other hand, it's not unusual to want to change your direction in life. Penisini admitted that he would miss his teammates and coaches, but that it was time for him to close the NFL chapter of his life, even if it was sooner than fans might have expected. And you know what? That's something we can all appreciate. We're sure it wasn't an easy decision, and we wish John the very best of luck for the future. We're sure he's going to shine in whatever he decides to do next. Next, in other news, who is the best general manager in the Detroit sports teams right now? When it comes to Detroit sports, there's a lot of hype all around. Although no major sports team is in a position to make a playoff run currently, it might not not be too far off as they are in good hands. We saw Brad Holmes make impressive plays to come away with 2 players in the top 12 in April. It was Troy Weaver, general manager of the Detroit Pistons, who was in the spotlight this Thursday. Weaver managed to recruit Jalen Duren at 13th overall and Jaden Ivey at 5th overall. They also have a ton of cap space to work with heading into free agency. Thanks to their general manager, Steve Yzerman, who left his footprint on the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Red Wings are in a great position. They have a shot at winning their 3rd Stanley Cup championship in a row. Ever since Yzerman took charge, he has done wonderful work for the team, like acquiring assets to develop in the future, getting rid of bad contracts, and adding young talent. This will help prepare them for the next step. It was a great disappointment when the Detroit Tigers found themselves at the bottom of the standings this season. Al Avila hasn't been able to particularly improve the team ever since he became general manager in 2015. And now, new Detroit Lion Aiden Hutchinson impresses everyone on new team. After being drafted number 2 overall, Aiden Hutchinson arrived at the Detroit Lions practice facility with high expectations placed on him. The Michigan native seemed to be still processing the emotions of starting his career in his home state as he strolled around the building accompanied by his family. Once he went through rookie and mandatory minicamps and OTAs this offseason, it's not the excitement which stands out to the teammates, coaches, and members of the Lions organization. Rather, it's his focused approach to successfully transition from an All-American of Michigan to becoming an important NFL rookie player. Hutchinson has his locker right next to former Ohio State star and Lions defensive end Jashon Cornell. Like many other teammates, Cornell too observed Hutchinson to see if all the attention he was getting and the high draft pick was warranted. He said that he told him to show him his ability as a pass rusher, and after about the 3rd practice decided that he was skilled and ready for the big league. It helped Hutchinson to learn from a large coaching staff of former players, including defensive line coach Todd Wash and defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn. Finally, we have why the Detroit Lions might make another surprise cut this year. The Detroit Lions may make a move that, even if it looks a bit careless at first glance, might actually make a lot of sense if looked at carefully. The Lions just recently traded Michael Brockers into their team last season, and it seems like the long-term partnership that everyone expected will not hold. His performance was not satisfactory last season. Not to mention, if the Lions cut Brockers off, they'll be able to save about $11 million in total, $1 million this season and $10 million the next season. Another thing that may be a problem with him staying on the team is the fact that he is the only member of the Lions that is above 30. It would be hard for a veteran to fit in and flourish in a team consisting of younger players. He had also not proved his worth with 1 sack in his 16 games and very few plays that caught anyone's attention. Brockers is not one to complain about the situation surrounding him, but seeing that it's becoming very obvious he's coming close to being dismissed, there are chances he will part ways without a fuss. That's a wrap for this video. Will you be rooting for John Penisini's future endeavors? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.